Welcome to the Western Canadian Bowling Tour Championships for the 2022-2023 season. I am Mark Johnstone, the Vice President of the Western Canadian Bowling Tour. I'm one of your commentators today, and alongside me is Katie Rayner. How are you doing today, Katie?
Really good. I'm super excited to be back here again for the 2023 Tour Finals. Last year I had the opportunity to come commentate, so I'm super excited to see the competition this year and go through all of the commentary with you.
Yeah, it's awesome. We got a great team, and it should be a fun series. So, Katie, how did these bowlers get here today?
That's right. So we have 5 stops on the Western Canadian Bowling Tour that are spread out throughout the season, and these bowlers are the top 12 of our points members throughout the season. So they've been competing all season long with their top finishes, making cuts at all these events, and have accumulated points to get into the Tour Finals.
Awesome, awesome. Amazing accomplishment. We had 1,300 entries in the Tour this year. So
it's an incredible number from where our sport was a few years ago to where it is now.
Yeah. A little bit about our format today. We're playing a pins game style. So if you're a golfer, that might be also called the skins game. So it's frame for frame. So it's based on how many frames is won by each individual. The person to 6 frames wins, or if we end up with a tie, what happens then?
If we end up with a 5-5 split, it comes down to total pinfall, which is really exciting because you never know which way it's going to go.
Yeah, so first round is $50 a frame, second round is $100 a frame, $200 a frame, and $300 in the frame in the final. So we got a lot of cash. We're playing for $15,000 today.
Definitely making it worthwhile. We have some people who have traveled from out of town, multiple provinces over, and they're here to get the big bucks.
Okay, now to the action. In our first match, who do we have, Katie?
All right, our first match of the 2023 Tour Final Championships is coming from Mr. Greg DeGrazia. He is our 12th place qualifier this year, coming all the way from Thunder Bay, Ontario, and this is his 3rd appearance at the Tour Finals. He is going up against Bradley Titgat, all the way from Edmonton, Alberta. Brad is our 5th place qualifier, and this is his 4th appearance on the Tour Finals.
Yeah, both guys are defending are former tour champions, so they both have experience. They're young guys, but they've been on the tour for a long time, so this should be a really good match.
Yeah, they both have something to prove as they're wanting to become 2-time winners, so I think both of them are going to put everything out on the lane today.
Yeah, good luck, guys. Alrighty, we're ready for the first match of the Western Canadian Bowling Tour. The low seed gets to choose who goes first.
Gets to choose. So Greg has decided that, is it low seed is choosing first or high seed?
Or high, sorry.
High seed,
I was
right.
Mixing up my words.
That's okay. So Brad Titgat was our number 5 qualifier, so he chose to have Greg play frame 1.
And he throws a strike right off the hop.
Starts it off. So just a reminder for everybody, this is not a scratch tournament anymore. This is a full pins game, so every frame is worth 1 point. You want to get at least 6 points to win outright. If they do tie at 5 frames each, it goes to a
total pinfall. Yep.
To break the tie. So Brad's going to look for a strike here to keep that carryover going.
Obviously, this is our first match for the series Tour Championship. Ooh.
He gets the wiggle, but just can't get that pin to go over.
Almost looked like the ball just rubbed it.
Yeah, even as soon as he first delivered that, I wasn't quite sure it was going to get to the middle, and then hit a little bit thin, just wasn't able to get the rotation on those pins.
Bradley is our tour champion, inaugural tour champion. So he won the first year that we created the tour. That year was a points system, so we didn't actually have the filming then, but yeah, Brad is he's a former champion.
He's looking to become a 2-time champion. Frame 1 goes to Mr. Greg as Bradley gets the spare.
Greg is also a former champion.
Oh, we got a battle royale going on here.
Yeah, we have a few in our top 12 here. There's a few former champions.
A few former champions.
So it's these guys nervous. Probably nice to play the first match and get it out of the way.
I think it probably is. You know, as they have to wait a little while and the anticipation builds, that's where the nerves probably set in. And both of these, like you said, they're both former champions. They've both been on the tour for so long. I don't know if the nerves hit them the same way.
No,
a few first-timers in the tournament. I think those ones are the ones we're going to watch those nerves settle in a little bit.
Yeah, both of these guys are quite experienced. Okay, so we have an even 1-1.
1-1 after 2. And both these guys had an incredible season as they were coming into Tour Championships. Bradley had a 10th place finish at the Autumn Open this year, a tie for 15th at TPC, and then he was our last tour stop winner at Heritage Traditional for the 2023 season.
I think he's won that tournament twice.
I think he is our first ever winner. That was twice, yeah.
Yeah, at the Traditional.
At the Traditional. Yeah. And Greg just had a super consistent season. He didn't have any of those really top 3 or top 5 finishes, but he made the cut at every single one of the tour stops this year. He had a 9th place finish at TPC, 9th place at Manitoba Open, 8th at Regina, and 13th at Heritage Traditional. So just a really solid, consistent season for him.
Yeah, it's you can make all the cuts on the tour now, but you still have to have some decent finishes.
A little bit of depth on the Sundays.
Yeah. It's a good spare for Greg. So both guys are not seeming too nervous, like you said.
No. Hitting those spare conversions. Sometimes that's the part of the game that starts to slip a little bit when you have those nerves setting in. We're throwing the ball in the middle, but when you have to make those spare conversions, that's where the mistakes are happening, but both seem to be settled in just fine.
I guess I should mention the cash we're playing for here.
That's right.
We're a first round, so our first 4 matches in the round of 8 are $50 a frame. Yeah, so a total up for $500 up for grab this match.
So even if these players are not able to get the win for the game, they can still make some money as long as they're winning some frames. So Brad is going to take frame 3, and he goes up 2 frames to 1.
And another $50.
And another $50.
Our top 4 were given buys into the second round, so they were given a little bit of a bonus. Player of the year was $500, I know that. And then the second place player is $350, third is $300, and fourth is $250. So those guys get a buy after the first round and a little bit of cash.
Gives them a little bit of incentive.
I was trying to think why we picked top 12. I think it's just based on our numbers. We had 111 entries, so it's kind of like 10% of the membership gets to go to the top 12.
For sure.
I would love down the road to expand the 12 or increase the prize payouts as we grow.
As we grow, yeah. All right. Brad stepping up on the lane. He's looking to throw that turkey shot.
I'm sure Brad's looking for a little redemption. He lost out last year in his first match.
Yeah, to Tim Wiseman.
And remember our format here, folks. It's pins game, so he's got to clean up all his wood. Every shot's important. Not that any shot normally isn't important, but...
but you can still win the frame with 15.
And Blair loves the stat. I think he said, he was saying how many frames under 10 have won. And I think he said 6 times or 8 times that someone's won a frame.
Which is wild when you think about the caliber of players we have in this tournament every year, that frames with 10 can win.
Yeah, like crazy.
You wouldn't think that, because when you watch these guys play, it seems like all they're doing is throwing marks, but those little frames, they do happen.
Yeah.
Great strike for Greg. He's going to take frame 4 and even this back up at 2 frames each.
2-2. This is going to be a barn burner. I remember last year we pretty much were a lot of 5-5, 6-4s.
A lot of close matches last year, and I think this one is going to be very similar.
Even the one guy would start and win the first 3 or 4, and then the next guy would win the next 3 or 4, and back and forth, back and forth.
Just kind of the nice thing about this format is even if you get yourself into a hole pinfall-wise, there is still an opportunity to come back and win the game.
And that has happened as well.
And that has happened many times. A little bit of a misstep there from Greg. Fell out of his approach just a little bit, missing left. Going to be looking for that spare conversion.
Greg made the trip all the way out here from Thunder Bay, so he's a member of the Western Canadian Bowling Tour, and he's probably a member of the club tour out in Ontario as well.
Yes. And definitely a staple on tour, and in this tournament, this is his 3rd tour championship appearance. And it's been pretty lucrative for him. He's tied for 4th, or he's 4th in the overall money won at tour finals. He's made almost $4 grand in his 3 appearances, or in his 2 appearances, plus whatever he wins at this one.
He's got a minimum $100 added to that anyway.
So we were at the 4,000 mark. He was at 3,900 before.
Yeah. Brad's got his girlfriend Taylor here, and his brother Tyler is also in the top 12.
Oh, and that punch for Brad means that Greg, even with the spare, is going to take frame 5.
Yes, so Greg will take the lead. Looked like he just wasn't quite aggressive enough with that one. Just laid it down a little.
And knowing Brad, he's always thinking about the game. He's always thinking about his shot. When he comes off the lane after this frame, we'll probably see him take just that extra second to regroup, think about what changes he's going to make in his execution for next frame.
Not a big deal there. He didn't clean it up, but frame was already over, so. That's the thing, is it's like 10 little mini games in one.
It is, right? So even if you have that frame where everything goes wrong, you kind of just have to put it behind you because it doesn't necessarily make or break the match.
It's hard to think Bradley's been on tour for quite some time now. Started when he was 16, 17 years old. A little bouncy there. Probably got what he deserved there.
A little bit, yeah.
Takes a little bit of finish off the shot.
Yeah, the thing with Brad is once he's in the zone and just shooting, he's pretty unstoppable. But sometimes there's just those little steps where he's just a little bit pushing it or a little bit laying it out. And
see, that was smooth.
Yeah, that was a great shot. Nice confident ball right at the corner. And Brad, for as young as he is, he's 9th overall in our tour final average so far in his 3 appearances. He's been averaging 254 in his matches. So super consistent on tour finals.
Yeah.
Greg back up on the lane. Great strike.
Great shot.
He's going to take frame 6.
Wonder how we had a lot of bracket submissions for the bracket challenge.
Have a lot of bracket submissions.
So I wonder whose
brackets are
busting and doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have 11 episodes in our series, and then after the 11 episodes, we'll crown our champion. We've actually increased some of the money in the later rounds, too. Ooh, that was thick.
Oh.
Must have got a good roll on that.
Yeah.
So last year, well, we went $50 a frame and then $100 a frame. And now it's $200 a frame and then $300 a frame in the final.
Right.
Well, Bradley needs to probably throw a strike here to
keep himself in this game.
Yep. Look. Oh, a little pushy.
So another head pin in frame 7. It's definitely not over yet, but that does give Greg another frame here. So he is going to go up 5 frames to 2. So at the very least at this point in time, they can do a 5-5 split, and it'll come down to pinfall, but Brad does have a little bit of a hole to make up in the pinfall side as well.
Yeah, I was just going to say this is where it could come down to pinfall if Brad starts winning some frames here.
Nice cleanup by Brad. Time to just put that behind him.
Yeah, we seen even in the Gallagher Cup last night, there was, you're down after 5. You
It's
can
not
easily
over.
come back.
Yeah, it's not over. And you're right, we did see in the Gallagher Cup there was quite a few matches where it looked like it was going to be a blowout, and then all of a sudden the other team comes back and just
Yeah, just
takes
like
over.
Pro League.
Just like Pro League,
The
yeah.
5PL is the same kind of thing.
Oh, no.
Just all over it.
So with these being the one-game matches, it's really challenging when you get onto those head pin problems because you don't have a lot of time to fix it.
Yeah, do you make a quick adjustment, or is it you just not feeling your shot, or I think he's still using the same balls he was.
Yeah, he had started the day off with his dice balls, the Paramount dice balls. I believe he's still using them.
That's the thing in this game. The good players can get on the head pin, and it's hard to get off sometimes.
Yeah.
Just as easy as you can throw a 5-packer, right? You can punch 5 head pins, too.
Yeah, I see the dice ball just came back, so he is still using those. Greg up looking to take another one and solidify the win here. There's that strike
There
in
it is.
8, so our first winner will be Greg DeGrazia. But there is still money on the line that Brad can win in the next couple frames here.
Greg must have saved up some of his strikes for today. I know Team Innovator had a rough go there.
He did have a rough go last night.
Beauty. He's
Great
just
shot.
like,
Dialed in.
Dialed, yeah, that's a perfect word.
Yeah.
Ham bone, our first ham bone of the
First
day.
hand bone.
Hopefully we get to see what all the rest of them are, too.
Yeah. Hopefully that's just like the hint at what's to come.
Bradley just went up there and hucked it.
Yeah.
And bomb.
Now that it's done, he knows time to just go throw the ball,
Yeah, so ninth frames carry over.
which will make frame 10 worth $100 here.
No. Oh, I thought he didn't have to get away with that one. Just a little bit better location.
Gets the push on that corner. Probably was wishing he had that rotation a few frames ago, but
Yeah, still $100 up for ground. You know, it's funny, Bradley and Greg have the exact same average in our tour. They're tied for 9th overall.
tied for 9th overall. Oh, what a great match. Missing a ball. He's going to wait for that dice ball to come back.
Just have to notify the staff in the back and then send the ball back. So pretty cool on tour. We had 5 events. So this is our first year with 5 events. We've added the Manitoba Open this year. So that actually changed up the points and
It did change up the points, yeah.
and how that works, and a lot more points to be had. So it's been awesome having them come aboard. Have 5 events.
And there was really good numbers at Manitoba Open this year for it being first official year on tour.
Yes, I think it was 210. Oh, aces.
Oh, a messy set. Wasn't sure if it was going to be the head pin or the split, and then it finally got to the aces.
I mean, it's a better count on your score.
It is, yeah. Which could come into play if Greg only throws the strike with a 5 count.
So on tour, we had 1,316 entries in the 5 tournaments.
It's incredible. And it's all boiled down to these top 12.
Yep. Out of the 1,300 entries, yeah.
Out of the 1,300 entries. It's come down to this. Another great shot by Greg.
Whoa,
That one
little wobbler
wiggled.
there.
It wiggled. Just not enough carry. So Bradley is going to, oh, actually, it's not
He
over
can still
yet.
get-
He could still get the spare and a good count.
Yeah, I think we got a 28 count for Bradley.
There's the spare. So a strike here will win frames 9 and 10 for Greg.
And our first winner will be Greg DeGrazia from Thunder Bay, beating Bradley Titgat. Oh, Bradley will
and
take the
chop,
last 2.
So Bradley will win that carryover, and Greg will win 6 frames to 4.
All right, here we are with the winner of the first match, Greg DeGrazia over Bradley Titgat. And nice to get the first one under their belt, isn't it, Greg? How you feeling?
Big time. I feel good. Obviously nervous. First match of the day. Nerves were running high. In the second frame I missed the middle, but brought it back and ended up winning the match. So I feel pretty good.
You missed the middle in 2 and 5 there, but then obviously you run a whole bunch of strikes. Brad Titgat on the other side. So you got the strike in the first frame, so you win the first frame. Then Brad comes back and throws a double. And then he goes up and punches into 4. Ended up punching in 4, 5, 7, and 8. So did you see him sense a moment there when he punched in the 2 back-to-back in 4 or 5?
Yeah, I could tell he was getting a lot tighter, and I just told myself, you got to play a little lighter, because as long as you can make a spare, you'll hopefully pull it out, and that's what I did. So.
Yeah, you were able to get the 5th frame 1 in 7, and then of course he punched in 8, and you got in the next strike in 8, so the match was over. Ultimately, in the day, he wins the last 2 frames, wins 6-4. But hey, you're out of the first round, and just quickly here for me now. Your next match is coming up against your friend and partner in a lot of things you do is Mitch Davies. So quick thoughts about playing against Mitch.
We're both looking forward to it, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully, we make it interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure you've talked about this many times since you know the bracket system, how it works, and that you're looking to play each other.
So. Oh, we have, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, congratulations, Greg DeGrazia, our first round winner against Bradley Titgat.
Thanks, Cyril.
Okay, we had an exciting first match. We had Greg DeGrazia against Bradley Titgat. Greg DeGrazia, the 12th seed, shoots a 336 and wins 6 frames to 4 over Bradley Titgat and his 234 score.
That's right. Brad unfortunately ran into a little bit of head pin problems throughout that game and just couldn't get that ball off the middle, but Greg took advantage and threw tons of strikes in a row.
Yeah, no open frames for Greg, so he made it really tough on Bradley today.
That's right. It was a really good match to watch out on the lanes. Next episode, we have Tyler Titgat from Edmonton, Alberta, going up against Carrie Kreitz from Wetaskiwin.